Well, Democrats have stolen years of your life, years you'll never get back, in the search for Russian collusion. We don't have any of that evidence yet, but the hunt for it left broken credibility across the board, and particularly at the Justice Department. The FBI, for example, started spying on Carter Page, a U.S. citizen who went to the Naval Academy and served as a naval officer, based on a politically motivated, still uncorroborated series of allegations from Fusion GPS, which was, in effect, an arm of the Hillary campaign. Now, Fusion GPS founder Glen Simpson is pleading the Fifth Amendment to avoid testifying before Congress. Congressman Davin Nunes represents California, and he's the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. He joins us tonight. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for coming on. So before I ask you about Glen Simpson and why you think he might not be testifying to your committee, I just want to get an update on the documents that the rest of us were supposed to see, most specifically the FISA warrant that allowed the spying that the Obama administration did on Carter Page. Are we ever going to find out the justification for that?
Well, years of your life not getting back, many Americans, including myself, I think that's such a great opening, Tucker. We are very frustrated that we have not been able to get these documents out. The president ordered them. And then you had Rod Rosenstein, who got in the middle of it, which, I'd be fine if Rosenstein got in the middle of it if he had a real reason. But every time he said that he has a reason to block this information, it ends up being false. And now you have Rod Rosenstein, who won't even testify before Congress. So are we going to see this information? I guess we're waiting. The president put the IG in charge of it, Horowitz. I don't think that was a good idea, but at the end of the day, that's what we're counting on.
At some point you start to ask, what's the point of voting? You elect a new guy, but the same people are still in charge, still thwarting what you want. It does kind of call into question democracy itself. Do you think any member of Congress would be willing to take the risk and just say, you know what, as an American, I think you have a right to see this? That person's welcome in the challenge.
The challenge with that is we could hypothetically go down to the floor of the House and talk about it. We've talked about this on your show, but we don't have the actual documents in our possession. We can't march them down to the House floor, slap them down. So those documents are in possession by the Department of Justice and the FBI. There should be no reason why we've been very narrowly focused on 20 pages of the last FISA that Rod Rosenstein signed, and I don't think that Rod Rosenstein should be in the decision-making process of whether or not the American people should see these or not.
I agree with that completely. So let me just ask you to sum it up, since you are privy to much more information than the average person as the chairman of the committee, the pivotal committee. Have you seen, and answer this knowing that in the end we're going to know all the facts because they're always revealed in the end, have you seen any evidence that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government, honestly?
No, I have not. And in fact, I've seen the opposite that we know for sure. And I know you're going to ask me about Glen Simpson in a second here, and I hate to jump ahead, but Glen Simpson, who was he was working for the Democrats, the Clinton campaign. He got information from Russians. That information was fed into the FBI, Glen Simpson was spreading that information out to the press, and now we know that Glen Simpson was actually meeting with the FBI long before he testified to Congress that he was meeting to the FBI. So this is somebody who likely lied to Congress, should probably be prosecuted, which is most likely why today he pled the Fifth and refused to testify before Congress.
It is so frustrating to watch this as a voter. I have to say, I think I speak for many other voters. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for everything you're doing. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Tucker.